Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet. This review covers the Sauber Mercedes C9 124 scale Hasegawa model kit number 20306. Now, 1989 was one of the last years for the World Sports Car Prototype Championship races, and it was a great year for Team Sauber. They carried the race with their C9 racers numbers 61 and 62. And this scale kit has been previously released in other versions and by other manufacturers, attesting to its popularity. It's a skill level 3 kit for the intermediate builder and includes 79 parts molded in gray, clear, and black with rubber tires. The decals are high quality and include both cars' graphics. Instructions are the fold-out type, and they have a fully laid out decal placement for one side. Now, this is a curbside kit. There's no drivetrain or motor. It has a minimal interior and just a body and a floor pan with wheels. When you're done, the dimensions are about 8 inches long, 3 inches wide, and 2 inches high, but it'll look great when you put it on your shelf. With the low parts count and no drivetrain to assemble, this actually becomes a really great weekend builder or a slump buster if you're just trying to get something done to put on the shelf. You can see here we have the kit's layout, and this is my version of the open box review. Some people would pick up each sprue and say, if they could, some words about the parts, but that won't help you put it together, and we're going to show you how to do that. And as you follow along, note that we'll be using liquid cement for most of the construction, sometimes super glue for strength, and white glue for glass parts. Here are the decals for this kit, and as you can see, the register is great, and it's got good coloration. The colors are very opaque and dense, so there's little bleed through. Now, you should probably use, in some circumstances here, some of the aftermarket decal setting solutions that'll help these decals nestle into contours and stick to the body of the model. Construction starts with the chassis pan. First, install the rear A-arms and the cylinder on the back, and then on the front the hinges. Now, paint this all flat black, and the area where the exhaust is will be aluminum, and the exhaust wall is flat black with aluminum highlight. Now, the exhaust tubes are assembled and painted steel color, and I used a wash of a rust color to make them look heated, just for good appearance, and then assemble and install the exhaust onto the chassis. Now the radiator is assembled and painted aluminum and flat black and installed. Because of the color match and sheen, I left the rims black, unpainted. They look just realistic to me. Now, the hubs were painted aluminum and steel only, and the brakes were painted aluminum per car 61's paint directions. Now, to give the tires a track used look, press and roll the tread area on a sheet of sandpaper, roughing up the surface there on a flat plate. And this will also help hide the mold line. Now, insert a rim into the tire and add a locking ring to the rim back, and glue the brake onto the rim back. Now, note that the front tires are smaller. The decals for these tires are reverse water decals. So you'll wet the tire, place the decal on the spot, and then wet the top of the decal, soaking through the paper, getting the decal off of the backing paper. And once it floats off the paper, then you can just carefully remove it from the decal and then let it dry in place. And now you can simply line up the tires, make sure that you get the fronts and rears in the right position, and that the outside, of course, is to the outside, and then you can snap the tires into position on the axle hubs that are attached to the chassis. Paint the interior pan and the passenger seat flat black. Now the cockpit area is aluminum color, and the driver's seat is an olive drab. The brake lever is steel with some white appearance to it, and the rear light unit is aluminum and flat black. Now install the light and paint it with some clear red paint. So get the body and the attendant pieces out of the kit that you see here in the slide, and then install all of the body parts at this time that can be added prior to paint here. The side panels and the front dam can be installed. Then inside, the little round discs there are installed in the spots on the roof, and the tail lights are installed. Next, the mirrors need their holes drilled out and installed into place, and the rear vents have small holes that need to be drilled through to be installed too. So wet sand the body with some light sandpaper, at least 800 grit. Look for any blemishes or errors and fix any that you run across. My body was in pretty good condition, so it was very minimal flash and parting lines. I decided to use Alclad 2 chrome paint for my model for the color match, and so that it wasn't too glossy, I painted it with some P3 brand primer, and then I sprayed the Alclad chrome over the entire body, and then finally a clear coat to dull the chrome a little bit and give it a non-metallic silver kind of sheen. So now I can detail paint and prepare for the decals. Go ahead and use plenty of warm water and start soaking the larger decals first. Work on one side and then work around the other way, and so that you can keep the decals in sight and not put your fingers on them, so that you preserve them on one side then the other. Now, using that warm water, you can also put some on the body and place those into position. And then I suggest you use some of the aftermarket setting solutions to help them set. And you can see here also there's a photo that shows the inset for the air intake for the rear brakes. There is painted flat black. So there'll be some detailing like that that you can do here. After your decals have set overnight and thoroughly dried, you can give the body a clear coat overall to seal them into position. Grab these parts and decals from the kit. Now paint the dash flat black and silver with the buttons highlighted in clear red, clear blue, and clear orange. The steering wheel is flat black, and the decals are installed, and then the dash and the wheel are installed into the car and the spaces provided on the sidewalls. To help the windows stand out, I dipped my window glass into a little tub with some of the Pledge floor finish, and that gives it a thin, crisp look after you wick off any excess and let it dry. Now, these windows also have a black surround, and so you'll have to paint those I used a Sharpie marker to fill those black areas around the edge detail, and then I added the windows and the glass to the body with some clear glue. You can use white glue also, but the crystal clear works pretty well. These parts will be used to assemble the rear wing and airfoil, so get those out of the kit. Now assemble the brace and paint the brace silver to match the car, and the tail is flat black with silver on the outer surface only on the sides, and there's a brace for the body that is silver and installed to the chassis. Now add the decals and install the tail to the body. Now we can install the body onto the chassis. Just to part the sides a little bit, and then it should wiggle right into position. If anything, you may need just a little drop of glue on the sidewalls just to keep it in place, but it's a pretty snug fit. Now with the decals in place, and you can see the highlighted bright red mirrors in the wing and back, the black airfoil underneath. This is a stunning looking vehicle in bright silver and black. And as you can see here with the rear view of the vehicle, it looks pretty cool from the back, like it means business, and for the most part that's what all the other drivers saw on the race circuit in 1989. Well, there you have it. This truly is a weekend build. It's fairly simple construction. The wheels of course just snap on. About the most time that it will take is to add the decals to the kit after you get it in paint. Overall, fit and finish was very good. There were no issues. The body was straight, chassis lined up well, and once it was snapped into place, it fit very snugly. All the glass fits on from the outside, so it makes that an easy and clean install there. So this is a quick build of an iconic race car, and if I were you, I'd buy one and put it on my shelf. I hope you liked this premium step-by-step model kit review, and so that you don't miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. But you can find us on Facebook and also at our website, rideonreplicas.com. Thanks.